Hello friends! Today we're going to be reading the story, The Dumpster Diver. Do you know what a dumpster is? It's like a big trash can that people from all over the place can put trash. You might find some behind stores or restaurants or even around apartment buildings. This story is by Janet S. Wong and is illustrated by David Roberts. Look at the front and back of this book. This man is clearly in a dumpster. Look at all this trash that he sees. I wonder what it means to be a dumpster diver. Anyone knows you can dive for treasure in the ocean, but our neighbor Steve, the electrician, dives for buried treasure right smack here in our backstreet alley. So look, they're in an apartment building, and here's a dumpster. Once a month during fall and winter and spring, and every week in the summertime, Steve slinks into the basement storage room. 5 minutes later, the dumpster diver comes out. Look at all the things he's wearing. I wonder why he has to dress like that to go into a dumpster. When Steve is ready to dive, he taps 5 times on my bedroom window. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wave to Steve and knock on Johnny's wall. Johnny hops to his window, shouts upstairs to Lena on the 3rd floor, and the diving team is ready to go. I am hose handler number 1, also known as the nozzler. He's holding the nozzle of the hose. Lena is hose handler number 2, also known as the snake charmer, so she's holding the hose itself. And Johnny is a faucetier, so he's turning the water off and on. Steve climbs up the back alley wall, picks the dumpster, and dives in. Beetles and roaches and spiders splash out. Ooh! I never imagined there were so many millions of legs living 200 feet away from me. That is yucky. Oh my goodness. Diving rule number 1 is keep your mouth shut. This is especially important when the roaches start flying. Diving rule number 2 is don't blow your hose all over the place. This means we hose handlers have to be very careful. When Steve climbs out, we hose down the treasure, and we also hose down Steve. Being a hose handler is no easy job, especially when Steve is shouting, rule number 2, rule number 2, rule number 2, which is be careful where you blow your hose, right? Why did they have to hose him and the treasure down? It was in the garbage, right? You think it's a good idea to go digging through garbage? Thursday is trash day, but we do a real work on the weekends. Last Saturday, we started with a pair of busted skis. Johnny drew, Lena measured. I drilled holes for nuts and bolts. Steve cut with a saw, and soon we had a paraskater. So they took all of that junk, or treasure as they call it, and turned it into something new. An old blender can become a lamp. An old lamp can become a table. And an old table plus 2 banged up skateboards, plus a ripped curb mattress, plus a handheld shower, plus 32 screws and a roll of duct tape can become anything we want it to be. So they're taking all of these old things and turning into something new, like I said. Do you know what it's called when you take a bunch of garbage and turn it into something else? It's called recycling. This is just an interesting way to do it. Yesterday's treasure of the day was an old computer that almost became a flower pot, Johnny's idea, or a fish tank, Lena's idea, or a sculpture, my brilliant idea. But we decided it should be a computer for Zenda on the 5th floor, who practices typing on a piece of cardboard with letters written on it. So she actually needed a computer, and they got one for her. Isn't that kind? The Grouch, who lives next door to Steve, says Steve is crazy. Too lazy to work hard to make enough money to buy new stuff at the store like good people should. She says his apartment is full of junk. Steve says junk is good. Look at all the things that he found in the dumpster. Does he look happy? I think so. He's alright living with that stuff. The Grouch says we kids better watch out or we'll get cut up from the trash. But it was Steve who got cut up on broken glass and rusted metal when the dumpster trash collapsed beneath him. Serves you right. What'd you expect digging through the trash? He got hurt. Look, he had to go to the hospital. It's not a very safe idea, is it? The Grouch has a point. Starting today, we're going to stop digging through the trash. Starting today, we're going to knock on every door in our apartment building, collecting our own special dumpster diver useful junk. So they're getting things from everybody before they even throw it away. They're just having them handed to them. It's a lot safer that way, isn't it? Starting today, we're going to put our useful junk carefully in the basement storage room. Except maybe for this old wagon and a broken rocker, this tennis racket, and that popcorn machine. All the stuff we need. What are they making out of this? For a wheelchair for Steve. Oh, look, they put it all together and made him a wheelchair. That was a great use for all of those things. Here's the old Grouch who lives next door. She still looks pretty grouchy, doesn't she? The end. So again, in this story, they recycled things. Another way you could recycle is by using recycling bins on paper and plastic and glass and aluminum. We talked about that today in class too, because a lot of the things that we use that can be recycled, if we throw them away, it takes a long time for them to decompose or turn back into other things like soil, especially plastic, because you know what? It's not biodegradable. It doesn't really decompose. Neither does styrofoam. So we have to be careful about what we throw away, and we need to recycle as much as we can, okay? You can start small. And if you're not able to, that's okay too. Just try to use as much as you can of everything, all right? I hope you have a great day and that you enjoyed my story. Goodbye.